V6 hybrid power unit, which was introduced for the 2014 season. Initially, fans were somewhat unimpressed with the noise hybrid cars produced, but many younger fans will now likely regard V6s as the sound of the sport they've grown up loving. Modern day Australian GPs attracting a region of over 100,000 spectators on race day. The exact figures are not released to the public.
Hello everybody and welcome back to the Formula 1 Esports Gibraltar 2025 World Championship. Today we're tuning in with the qualifying as we had a spectacular set of racing last week. Now we're just following the boys, doing their time, setting in their laps. Ooh, we already have a yellow flag on Sector 2. A car is stopped on the track currently from what we see. We're not too sure about that. A very, very early problem going on in this. Trying to figure it out now. Trying to see who it is. I think... Okay, it seems that he's already off the track. It's all good. Seems issues solved. But what I was saying, here we are now. These guys are ready to set their laps, put their times in, make sure they're going to be up on these standings. And we really, really want to see some great racing just like last week. Speaking of last week, we can bring up to Perry, the winner of the race in Saudi Arabia with a fantastic race. What a lovely drive he had that week, where I think a roughly 6-second lead ahead of Elite in P2. It was a fantastic race. Although this completely changes it, because this is now a different track, another street circuit, still on the same level, although very different dimensions as to what it was in Saudi Arabia. And also, just to let everyone know, this stream will be different. I am now commentating alongside my co-worker, Julian, today.
Good evening, all. Again, like my colleague has just said, that we've got a lovely race ahead of us today. We've got 18 guys who are fighting out for the win. We have Perry again looking to get another win here in Australia. However, we have a different track with high-speed sections and different grip management, where we'll see where the drivers will finish towards the end of the race. The moment as we look on to Vituli, the moment he's setting up a lap time, he's got P1 with a 118 flat. We're looking to get the guys down to around 117 is the lap time they are achieving towards the end of the session. Again, mentioning that tyre grip will be the talking point of today's race.
Thank you, Julian, for that. And that is what you can expect. There's a bit of switchback from here now and then when I will be talking, and we'll have some Julian with more of an informative role as he is quite versed in the world of racing. Thankfully, we can have a very good stream today just because of that. But like he said, Vuti with a 118, very good times. He's put quite a big step ahead of Juna, which is actually quite shocking. Although Vuti did do a fantastic race last week. Although I made a mistake. I thought he finished P3. He did not. He finished P4 and lost it, sadly, to his penalty points. But that shouldn't be an issue. I'm sure he's more than hungry and ready to set in another lap as he's about to cross the line with a... Let's see. Still slower than his last lap. Although regardless of 118, not many people are going to be touching that. We can expect to see or I'm expecting at least, is Elite. Elite was on his tail at one point, but Vouti did also overtake him. He's a very class racer. He's very clean. He knows what he's doing. He knows exactly what to do on the track, knows how to handle those tires, and he's really good at ERS management from what we've seen as well. That is another key factor on a very high-speed track like this. We've got very long straights. There is going to be a lot of use of ERS. Now, all it matters is people use it adequately to make sure they don't waste it. Oh, and we nearly lost. Oh, Jamie colliding into the gravel trap. Oh, Jamie lost his front end plate. His car is okay. But oh, he is not. It's limping. He's going to definitely take that back to the pits. What a shame. Set a 1:18.6, but he just went into the gravel trap. His wing is off. That must be annoying. Seeing that he got pushed, we're not sure by who, but from what we saw, he was definitely pushed off the track. Now we're going to be switching around as he goes into the pits. We're looking at K Scout with a 1:18.6 in his previous lap. It seems like he is going for it again. Setting some decent good times in Sector 1. Let's see what he's going to do here. He is going quicker. Oh, and Vouti with a 17.5. That is spectacular. He's gone a lot quicker than most people have expected. And just like my colleague Julian said, we're aiming for that 1:17 bracket, aren't we?
We're just getting now to the hot part of the session where the guys are now doing the first run, now doing around 4 laps. And at the moment, the tyres are getting towards their stage where they're not being able to be extracted to their maximum potential. However, in saying that, he's absolutely smashed his lap by half a second. Now, that is credit where credit's due. It's a long track. You've got to have a lot of confidence in the front tyres, as there's a lot of braking zones, but a lot of fast sectors as well. It's all about the confidence in the cars. And at the moment, everybody's looking to get the engine and the ERS recovered for the second attempt.
Thank you, and that was lovely. That was a lovely rendition, I'd say. But now, I've just realised we've got Borrell and Urgo already DNF from the session. Not sure what happened there. Maybe they had a technical issue on their part, but we're hoping at least their car isn't damaged, because that is a shame, not even setting a time. They will be starting at the very back of the grid, and we know Urgo and Borrell, they like to race. This going to be pretty fun for them, I'd argue. We'll see how this goes. But currently, no one is getting really close. Berry, I didn't even pay attention to that. Berry is already in P2 with a 1:18.1. Oh, and Vouti's coming into the pits. That's it. I think Vouti might be happy with what he's done. I don't think he can do more.
Preparing the car for the second run, even as we talk. They're getting ready now. They've got 10 minutes to go. The guys have had their first thought at the cars. They've just got themselves warmed up, and the cars seem to be at the stage, like we mentioned earlier, of the 1:17 bracket for P1 at the moment. So we shall see where everyone is staging with 5 minutes to go. With 5 minutes to go, it's anyone's to play for.
Exactly. And we are in for a very good set of racing, people. Make sure you guys are strapped in and watching. Get something to eat, get something to drink. Enjoy the evening, because it's going to be a long one. We've actually increased the length of the race, as we wanted to see more racing, more potentials for overtaking, more potential for strategy changing. And honestly, just to have a go. Ooh, and there's been a yellow flag on Sector 1.
Might just be somebody just slowing down just a bit too much off the racing line for ERS deployment. But in this case, just got to make sure they're out of the way. And as we say that, the yellow flags are clear.
Oh, and Perry getting a lockup into corner 15. What happened there? You must have.
Getting into Prost, it's never ideal, but it seems, as one of our colleagues just pointed out, he might have a fuel issue. He might have cut that.
Oh, and Laggy going quicker than Vouti with a 17.5. No, that is mental. Laggy setting an absolutely mental time. A complete dark horse from last week. He's just completely smashed the rankings. He's now P1. That is phenomenal. And Vouti's definitely going to respond to that, as we know. He is not a person to be shy of this. He's not retired. He's ready. He's going to get out there and most likely try and smash the record that Laggy set. Although that is a very hard record to beat. Leaving nothing on the line. Leaving absolutely 0 inches on the track. Just barely getting by without a penalty point. This is a fantastic quali session. And also, just to mention, for those tuning in that were here last week, we've now changed up. We are now obviously commenting on the qualifying times. As many of you might not know, if you might not watch Formula 1 as much as some do, quality times are set for the race. Whatever people set now are going to be their place at the start of the race. So whoever's P1 really wants to get there. That gets you that best opportunity out of the checkered flag and into that win. So quali is really where it matters. Although with a race of 29 laps, the race is quite important as well, so we'll see. We'll definitely see that.
I just think at the moment with the top two, they're split between 300ths of a second, and at the moment it's anyone's game. Like I said, well, we're getting into the last part of the qualifying. Guys are getting back in the pit lane. They want to look at where they can be faster and watch their competitors, and now just go out for the last 5 minutes and absolutely push one.
Yeah, I completely agree. This is a mental. We have Juna actually going for quite a fast lap. He's on the medium compound tyre though. He's probably just trying to conserve his tyres for the actual race. As we know, this track has a lot of degradation on those tyres, and these people are really going to want to save those tyres. You don't want to run out of a stint. You make sure you try and stay on the tyres you want, but if you're unfortunate enough to not have that stint, it does throw a spanner into the works. Oh, and then section 3, probably just another driver going a bit slower than he should, but that's alright. As long as it's not a car crash, as long as we're not having red flags, we let it fly. It's alright. And here we go, Juna around the final corner. He's going in quite quick. He's going good. And he's about to cross the line with a 1:18.1. A very good time, actually.
Just very tight off the last corner on the ERS. He just got the deployment with 1% left, so he timed it to perfection. The lap time came out, and look at our top 5 at the moment. It is absolutely close. The field is going to be crazy, and again, we're expecting our lap times to drop around 2 seconds in the race. But however, as it being a long race, we've got a few strategies that can be played out. Where they're going to go for the undercut or the overcut will be up to the guys to decide.
Exactly. And speaking on the top 5 at the moment, we have Laggy in P1, Vuti in P2, Berry in P3, Junbaga in P4, Shane in P5. And honestly, like my colleague just said, they are really not spread apart like by a lot. They are all very close. Mind you this, the times might look very drastic, but in a matter of racing, these guys are next to each other, tyre by tyre. This is going to be an interesting set of races. And now we're here with Wilson on his outlap currently. We can see what he's going to do with a 1:19.9. Now, don't discourage yourself. Don't think because it's a 1:19 is bad. You never know. He might be stronger in a race than in qualifying, which is actually quite common with a lot of racers. They find it easier to race alongside than race solo. Mainly because they have that competition. They have that win factor. They can drag off each other. They can use DRS. They can use everything they need. Oh, and as he gets a bit swiggly there, but it's fine. He's doing great. Not to worry.
Now getting into turn 3. It's difficult as we see the exit of turn 3 into 4. It gets a bit off camber. You're going on the curb, it's on the limit of track limits, fast through turn 5 and now into turn 6 and turn 7's complex, where you've got to go flat out, drop 2 gears and flat out through the curbs.
There we are. We're having a lot of yellow flags, but once again, we shouldn't be paying much attention to that. With 5 minutes left in the qualifying time though, still some time to make some drastic changes, but although not the most. And also, one thing I would like to mention, Vuti has not come out to contest against Laggy, which is actually quite shocking so far. He might be waiting for that very last second to completely snipe that win out of Laggy's hands, which honestly, considering his character, isn't the most unrealistic thing to think of. You never know.
Well, as we've just seen Berry now, he's just making sure that his ERS is as high as possible because he just around had not enough for the completion of the lap, but he's going to push now for that last lap. Well, the sector's looking good so far for Jumba, and we'll have to see where we have to be at the end of the session.
Exactly that. And now, with less time going on the clock, this is absolutely spectacular. I know I'm ready for a great day of racing. This is going to be fantastic. I can't wait to see the strategies, because this really is a lot different to Saudi. Saudi, a much smaller and shorter track, as where Australia is a much larger one, still a street circuit, mind you, but here we are. It's a much wider track, a lot more opportunities for overtaking, a lot more action, wheel-to-wheel action, which is what we're really looking for. We had a lot of that in Saudi Arabia, which is actually quite lucky. But in Australia, it's a lot more heightened than it was. That's for sure.
Absolutely. I think that we're in a track now that we are looking at very different complexions of a track, where Saudi is a one-line kind of track, follow the leader around and find your and pick and choose your battles, basically. And we're on a track now where a lot of DRS zones, 4 to be exact, and we've got a lot of straights, a lot of slipstreaming, hopefully during the race, and we're looking to see where everyone's strategy is. Hopefully everybody just has the best race they can possibly have, nice and clean, and hopefully towards the latter end of the race we're going to see a nice battle in the last 5 laps. So it's looking that way. And again, that's what we mentioned earlier, those guys at the bottom end of the field, they are marking the race lap time, so really they don't have to improve specifically any type of their driving for the race. They're already riding at a good rhythm. As we just watch Jumbo just go a bit wide out of turn 13. Ascari, again, it's a bit offsetting, and now we get into turn 15, which again, just really, really smooth and progression on the throttle. Now it's a bit of a slide, and now we're getting into the last corner. Oh, he's decided to pit in.
That is a strange one. I thought he was going to go for a lap, but evidently he did go into the gravel trap. He wasn't going to set a good time. Rather not risk the car, especially when he is P4. He's in quite a comfortable position.
Oh, we've got 2 minutes to go, Ethan, and you never know. Now it's crunch time. Whoever wants to start this race from pole, there's 2 guys who are absolutely neck on neck, and again, Petty as well with a 17.5. Just spotted that now. We've got 3 guys in the 17.5s. Again, this is going to be super tight from the top guys, and they're going to have to be smart and think of a way to get around their rival.
I completely agree. And also remember, Jumba is on a 118.1. He is on that mark to get that 117. I don't think he will do another lap, as he's got a very comfortable position where he is now. I'd argue starting first, it's good, don't get me wrong, but you have a lot of pressure from behind, especially with online racing. You never really... Oh! And Shane, touching the grass.
He's really pushing.
That could have been very dangerous. He could have sent them to the wall.
Let's follow along with him. I think we should watch Shane into the lap. We'll just explain a bit on the track. So again, coming through the section into turn 4, off camber, things slides a lot when you're hitting the apex. Here, flat out hitting the curbs. We're getting into turn 5 and turn 6 complex, which is drop 2 gears and flat out again to the curbs. And we're getting now to reach the fastest section of the track, where you're clicking up to 8 gear. DRS will be deployed at this point, and we're now getting into the fast 10, 11 and 12, which again you need to find so much confidence from the front tyres.
Now here we go into turn 11 and turn 12. These corners are quite dictating of your race pace, because if you slip off, you're stuck in a gravel trap or worse, into a wall. It's a very high speed corner with quite a lot of braking. And here we are as well, into corner 13, down into 14. Shane doing a very strong lap, might I add. He's a very prominent racer. He was doing fantastic. Oh, and he slides a little bit, but he captures it. That is fantastic control from Shane. Into the last 2 corners, clips the grass a little bit. Not ideal for what he wants to do. If he can hold it in, he should be able to get a decent lap time in. Definitely not going to be in the top 2, but it's still a pretty good lap time with a 190 and a 119.9. Sadly, those slides must have thrown off. He's done a pretty good lap time at 118.5. So we definitely know, oh, Shane has got a lot of potential for this.
It's a shame at the very end, isn't it, Ethan, that he was pushing really well, but we know how difficult that last sector is. Once you get out of turn into turn 11 and 12, those fast left-right-handers onto the back straight, engaging DRS into a Ascari. Again, turn 13 is super, super offsetting, and then turn 14, you're looking in there, he's just clipped the apex a bit too hard on the inside tyre, and the rear stepped out, and then into Prost. Again, really, really offsetting. My
ad, Shane is still out, although he's not really going to have enough time. Or is he? He has actually. He's going to be the last one to set a lap in with 11% ERS consumption. We can see here, prime example of what I spoke about earlier. It is a very prominent track when it comes to ERS consumption. You really want to save that, especially when you're getting attacked or when you're attacking. 5% in. He's doing a decent lap time currently. He's the only one in. He's the last one to pass. He needs to pass, and so does Wilson. Wilson, last 2 races on the track, and then it's the end of the qualifying session and into the race. Oh, this is going to be fantastic. Shane sliding all over the track. This really just shows when you've not got control of the car at times, it can just go from under you. But thankfully, Shane actually has decent control, and he goes into the pit. Oh, doesn't. He's going out. That was a strange one. He must have undershot or just overshot it. We never know.
I think he didn't see how much time he had left.
Most likely.
Again, it's a shame for Shane, but again, it wasn't a bad effort, and the guys are absolutely pushing. And again, Shane's in 5th place. You know, top 5 in the race is going to be good. You're starting from the 3rd row of the grid, and you never know. He's going to have to really just jump for position into the first corner.
Yeah, definitely. And here we are with Wilson on the last few corners in the race. In the last few, gets into the gravel trap. That is not ideal. What I have noticed from Wilson, though, he is not really using his ERS.
No, absolutely.
He is not. Which he should.
It might be he's on an outlap, but I've just noticed he's run out of fuel. So
he has. Yep,
his fuel light's on. It's a shame, but again, all effort from the guys that are racing for entertainment tonight. So.
Definitely. And this just shows he ran out of fuel. These guys are all changing their strategies, putting different fuel loads. This is completely fantastic. I love this. It just shows the different strategies everyone will be using in this race. It's going to be a great day racing. I know you're ready. I'm ready. I hope people watching at home are ready. And I definitely know the drivers are ready. With anxiety, stress, all of that. But they're definitely going to have a great session of racing, as we saw in Saudi from last week.
Absolutely. Last week's race, again, we took a lot back to Saudi. And Saudi's a different track. We're going here to Albert Park in Melbourne. And it's an absolutely different type of race that we're going to have today. I think it's going to be a slipstream city, and hopefully the guys use it effectively. So as we have the results ahead of us.
Here we are. And if we could see here, Laggy in P1 with a 117.5, Booty in P2 with a 117.5 as well, Perry with a 118. And then Junbaya, he set P4 on a medium compound. He wasn't even on the soft tyres, and he came in the top 4. This is a very promising race. And just to digress, week 2, we saw Perry, Nikolai, and Nuke in the top 3. Perry is the only one in that top 3, but don't underestimate it. These people could still come back and race. Nuke in P12, which is a sad upset for him. He had a great race last week, and I'm ready, and I'm sure we're going to see that from him again. He's a very strong racer. This is going to be a great day for racing.
With the unlicensed Grand Prix simulator, while the first fully licensed Codemasters game was released in 2009 and was externally developed. Albert Park has hosted the Australian GP every year since 1996, except for 2020 and 2021 due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Welcome to Albert Park here in beautiful Melbourne. Get ready for an action-packed day of motorsport. We've got plenty of entertainment over the course of the weekend, so check your programme to avoid missing out. While Kimi Räikkönen may have retired, there's still a Kimi in attendance today. We look forward to watching along today from the 10 o'clock start. For the 2021 season, Albert Park
Okay, and just to come back in, Jumbo with a 5-place grid penalty with a collision with Wilson on an outlap on Q2. Here we are following in, and once again, I would like to mention we have changed the strategy and we have changed the weekend structure from last week. We're going to be including all 3 qualifyings as we really want to separate the track. We really want to make sure every driver gets their chance to get that Q1. And as we saw, Laggy was in P1. Can he replicate that? Will Vuti take it again? Or will someone completely random take it that we did not expect, actually? This is going to be quite a good time for racing. I'm very excited for these huge sets of laps.
I think that, the structures what the guys want to see. Those who are fans of Formula 1 know the structure better than we do. And they're going to absolutely take full advantage of their tyres that they're provided for the qualifyings and the race. However, this comes down to strategy. How many guys will have their softs left or mediums? Again, I think in this case, Jumbo was the smart person in Q1 to use a medium set tyre to set his lap, because now he will use his 2 fresh set of softs for Q2 and Q3.
Exactly, and that's what caught a lot of people off guard, I'm assuming. Definitely caught us off guard. We didn't expect him to go into the mediums, but honestly, it's a very smart strategy. It's really saving those tyres, especially for this qualifying, because honestly, it's still anyone's game. It's not black and white. You never know who's going to win. And here we are, following Wilson. He is currently the only one doing a lap, so is Jumba. We're going to be following him on this lap, see if he can set it.
No, I think he's exceeded track limits there. He just went a bit wide into turn 1,
it does seem
and
like
his car stepped out, just hitting the apex. Again, it's all about misjudging the sectors, but again, as we go along with Jumba at the moment for his lap, he's just, again, through this section, it's very difficult, it's very fast, a lot of encouragement required for the front end of the car, and again, we just kind of come through this section, and you're going fast when you just clip these curbs spot on, and you're getting onto the back straight with a full amount of leverage towards you. So again, so we activate DRS going into the last sector.
That is lovely. Shane already with a 117.6. Luke with a 118.3. That is phenomenal. As we saw, the last times they were a 117.5. So Shane, mind you this, we were watching Shane last, he set a 118, I think it was a 118.5. So from a 118.5 to 117.6, that is a big step up, and he's definitely got a massive smile on his face, because that is a beautiful lap for him. And here we are also following Jumba as he goes around the last corner. carrying a decent bit of speed. Will he be able to make it with a lot of ERS consumption? Will he be able to make that time? And he gets into P4 over the 119. Not a bad lap considering it's his first lap. Remember oh my god, and Vuti with a 117.4. Now that is what I expect. That's what most people expected from Vuti. An absolute breakthrough. Ball out of the park. That is shocking. Jeez, that is crazy. Shane must be left gobsmacked. Where did he find... Where did he find that? I'm sure he was rubbing it everywhere. He's left nothing on the track. That would be a very hard time to beat, as we saw no one break into the 17.4s, actually. So that's impressive.
Again, it's been full commitment. It's coming down to Q2 now. So now getting to the guys who really want to set the standard. And we could be seeing at the end of this session or into Q3, the guys really push into the 16s. And that is looking a lot more like it. So we're looking at lap times that are only 2 to 3 seconds off the esport guys. And again, this is where we know that we've got a high level in this grid today.
Oh, I fully agree. This just shows. And mind you this, these guys have been racing for a long time. They know their stuff. They've got their things dialed in. They've got everything they want. And it shows. It really shows the people that know what they're doing and like what they're doing. It's completely amazing. This is beautiful. Now we're going to see Perry on an outlap. This is what people have eyes on since he was the winner in Saudi Arabia. A lot of people are holding something quite high for him. They want him to win here as well. I'm sure there are people right now rooting for Perry. He was amazing last week, and I'm assuming he'll be amazing this week. He did a great time earlier as well. This, honestly, I couldn't predict who is going to be up in this.
He's just currently on an outlap, so again, I think Perry's doing everything correct. You know, he's just getting all the tyre pressures and temperatures up to where they need to be, and he's going to absolutely push on this last lap. As we have a Sector 1 yellow flag, but it's cleared again. Again, a lot of drivers trying to find position on the track to try and set a lap time without having anyone in front of them slow them down. And it's a common theme within racing, of both virtually and real life. But again, we always encourage all the drivers to try and find their slot within the track and keeping well off the racing line. But again, we're looking to see an absolutely amazing qualifying too.
Yeah, and as we were speaking there, we actually saw Perry did lock up his front left tyre. Sucks when you have those bold spots in your tyre. It really does affect your car, especially down the main straights. But as we see it, now we're going to be following Perry on his lap. We are expecting big things. Ooh, and he gets that's a shame. Just went over the white line, invalidates that lap. That must be annoying. And mind you this, it does not make this any less of an interesting race. Yeah, he might have gotten this, but remember, there's 8 minutes left in this qualifying. It's anyone's game. Perry might be able to come in and come back with a bloody lovely day of racing. He's still got full ERS. He's conserving his fuel. He's getting ready to set a bloody lovely lap in, and I know all of us are ready.
We're just going to have to just pop down to see some of the guys who are at the latter end of the grid. So we have Bone in this case just setting his lap. He's just got 3% ERS, so he's not got too much left, but he might have it here towards the end of the sector. He's got 11% now. He's doing pretty good. Again, those guys at the bottom of the field are just having a good time, and they're just trying to set their lap time. And I'm sure in the race they're going to keep just building up their confidence in the car. As again, he's got a pretty clean last sector. He comes to the line.
Mind you, I do not want to interrupt you much, but Elite has retired from the session in P12. Mind you this, Elite was a very strong contender in the last race. We saw him on the podium step in Saudi Arabia. But he is out in Q2, P12 position. That is absolutely horrible. He's going to have to overtake everyone in the field if he wants to even get to that top spot. We're not sure what happened. He didn't even set a lap time though.
It's going to be difficult, I think.
That's shocking.
We will have to find out towards the latter end of the race if he can, get through the fields. As we're seeing now the guys setting the lap time, but again we've seen Shane make the biggest improvement here, and at the moment we're not going to see a lot of guys pushing. There's a lot of yellow flags, meaning all the laps are currently going to be invalidated. So we've got someone going off the track. We've got Rambo just slightly heading off. They're all pitting in now, and we've got 6 minutes to go. So everyone's going to come in, get topped up on fuel, get their ERS deployment and engine up to standard for the last 5 minutes. Again, we might be seeing something quite interesting like the end of Q1.
Oh, for sure. And as you're speaking, we're watching Perry setting a purple sector in Q1, in Sector 1, pardon me. He's still not set his lap time, although purple sector, we are expecting big things from Perry as we're going around the last few corners here. Hopefully that guy's getting his friend his way. He does not get out the way. Bit on the grass, unfortunate for him. Although he did get out the way. Lovely sportsmanship from what we're seeing. Perry rounding around the last 2 corners now. Here we're seeing on the exit of turn 16. He gets a great hook. He's got a bloody lovely line. As he goes down the straight, what are we going to expect from Perry? As he crosses the line, he gets a 1:17.6, putting him into P2. What a lap from Perry. That is amazing. Although, still off of Vuti. Vuti set a really touch lap. Although Perry is right behind him, so is Shane. We have more people in the 117s than last time. And honestly, that Q1 time that we saw, it's getting a bit touched. It's getting smashed up and it's getting close to. People that weren't getting the 117s getting close to the 117s. As we saw Nuke now in P4. He finished 3rd in the Saudi Arabian race. So we know he's got potential to get on that podium spot. That is a lovely set of racing. And K Muscat right now set a 1:18.7. Still a really good lap around it. Mind you this, we are averaging what we're going to see during the race. We are seeing lap times that are being set. A 1:17 is great for quali. You won't reach that on a race just because of your fuel load and the length of the race. You really can't afford to get those type of laps. Although a 1:18 is good racing from everyone so far.
I think we're looking at 1:18 highs towards the latter end of the race. When they just get that first pit stop out the way, when they drop the softs and they get on the mediums and do the first long stint, you're going to really notice where guys between the second and third lap of that the life of the tyre of the medium is going to extract its maximum potential. So again, the guys in the latter end are going pretty well. Again, in the 1:19s, they're not too far off. But in this case, between P1 and P9, it's only 1.4 seconds. Again, credit where credit's due to the drivers. They are doing an amazing job.
No, I can completely agree. Honestly, I don't see anyone here that's not trying. Now, don't be discouraged if by the people at the back of the grid, because you never know. They could be dark horses and completely come and smash the race, as we've seen. And now, actually, we're following Laggy on a medium compound set of tyres. He's in P6 of the 1:18.7. He's currently flying around the corners, though, really keeping that car loose, but catching it at each corner. It just shows the levels. He set the fastest time in Sector 1 with a medium compound, mind you. That is shocking. Obviously, the soft compound is the favourite tyre on most tracks, and it is the quicker compound. Although a medium, that is a big bracket in between from the medium to the soft. So that is lovely to see as we see him go around the last corner. Oh, he keeps it in the lines. He kept it in the lines. He kept the speed up, not preferable for him. I'm sure he finds more space there. Although that is a great set of corners from Laggy. And a promising racer, as we know. He is a very quick racer. We saw it in Bahrain, we saw it in Saudi, and I'm sure we're going to see it in Australia.
It's just a massive shame Laggy in turn 11 clipped the inside apex, and it got him on the floor of the car, and it set his car wide.
Here we go as he goes around about across the checker flag, and he sets a 1:17.3, shooting up into P1.
What
a 1:17.3 from Laggy. Mind you this, he still has more to lead up, and he was using the medium compound tyre.
Full commitment.
That is insane. He was inches off of losing that car, and he kept it on the track, set those great times, kept it in the lines, and put himself into that #1 slot. Vuti, will he respond with a 1:17.4? I don't think he's going to want to risk it, especially on the later ends of Q2.
We're now in 17.3. Like I said in the beginning, we've got 2 minutes to go. We've got a lot of guys in the pits. There's not many guys setting the lap, so Laggy's done it at the right time. It's just what an absolute lap. And not only that, as we were looking within the commentary box, we're just looking at his lap, and it was so confidence inspiring. Car was sitting well. The only time he only lost a bit of time, which he would at least have another 2/10, was going into turn 11. He just clipped that inside curb a bit too much, set him out wide for the transition into turn 12 into the right hander, and that just slowed him down a bit. But anyway, credit where credit's due, and that is going to be difficult. But he has set the benchmark for Q3.
That is very... I don't know how they can improve from a 1:17.3. To be honest, I was thinking 1:17.4 was already high as it could get. But no, it just shows that no matter how long you're at the top, you can always get knocked down. Vuti definitely will respond to that in the next qualifying. I can guarantee you that myself. I know that for sure. Vuti is one of those racers that if he is contested, if he's challenged in any sort of way, he will respond. He's not going to leave anything up for the table. He does not want to leave the idea of P1. even a little bit in someone else's hands, because he really wants to win this race. He wants to win that trophy. And at the end of the day, he really wants to win that championship, as it's what everyone here is aiming for. It is the top goal, and everyone will want to do that. Laggy, though, is definitely not going to make it easy for anyone on the grid.
Absolutely, but we have Porqueria coming in through the last sector of the track, but he's just gone in. He wasn't doing half a bad lap, but again, might have just been done to fuel again. Again, we've got the last minute or so before the checkered flag. As we see the top.
Oh,
whoa,
and we have a spin from Bone. That is a very common corner out of the exit of turn 12. Surely he caught too much curb, spun the car, ended up in the gravel, and that is going to be his last lap. He's not going to have enough time to recover from that. I'm sure that's an upset from him. He is doing quite a dangerous maneuver, staying in the middle of the track, though. But, ooh, and he clips his wing on the inside wall. That is not good. We could be expecting maybe a retirement from Bone. We're not sure what we're seeing here.
And it's just a shame he's just clipped in 11th place. And I've just noticed that Jumba is also no longer in the session.
Wow.
So meaning that Bone might step up to P10 here. So he might remain for Q3. Again, if the guys just get out of the session, they will not be able to sit their Q3.
Exactly, and that is shocking. I did not expect Jumba to get out. I'm assuming he was just in the pits and he must have retired. He didn't want to set a better lap time. But honestly, we're currently following Kima Scat right now, going around corner 11 and 12. This is the corner that we lost Bone on. You could really see there as well. He was losing the rear tyres of that. Now, that is common with everyone. This is a very hard track when it comes to traction. Very slippery track in turn 11 and 12. And we also expect in turn 16, which is quite slippery as well for some of the drivers.
The thing is, when you come out of turn 16, out of 15, you're coming from a nice tight hairpin.
Oh, and there he goes into the grass.
Instructed.
As we see there. Yeah.
And you're coming out of that, you're just getting the power on from second gear, picking up to fifth gear, and the rear end just wants to step out the whole time.
And that's the end of Q2.
Absolutely.
That is the end. That is a lovely set of laps. Honestly, I am still shocked from that one lap from Laggy. I thought he was going to set a good time. I did not expect him to get that top spot, though, especially with the mistake that he did make, which wasn't his fault. It was the cars and probably catching too much curb. But that is crazy. Everyone set some really good times. Sadly, though, we're going to be saying goodbye to some of the two drivers now. Bone and Jamie won't be going into Q3, but everyone above, Jumba, Wilson, Rambo, K-Muscat, Porqueria, Nuke, Shane, Perry, Vuti, and of course, Laggy will be going into Q3. And now this is where it comes crunching time. Laggy still set that time with a medium compound. That is crazy. Sadly, though, what we have noticed is Jumba has got a 5-place grid penalty in the race. That is from a collision which he had at the very start of Q2.
It's a massive shame, but again, referencing back to the session, look how close the lap times are from P1 to P9. We're looking at, again, we're just about 2 seconds within the whole grid, 1.994 to be specific.
Exactly.
And again, we've got a nice race coming up for sure after our Q3 session.
On a normal day, the start-finish straight is a public road shared by pedestrians and local traffic with a speed limit of 50 kilometres an hour. Today, you'll see the world's best thunder down the straight at over 300 kilometres an hour. Lewis Hamilton has had a lot of success at the Australian GP, securing pole here on more occasions than any other driver in the history of the sport. Despite this, he has generally struggled to convert his poles into wins.
And now we are back into Q3, 10 minutes on the clock. Here we are following Nuke. On here will be the first person to set a lap. Actually, no, I am lying. It is Shane that's saying lap, although we're going to still be following Nuke as we have a lot of promise from him. Shane, remind you this, from last time, he set a 17.
Oh, just missed the apex a bit, Nuke into the first sector. Again, it's very difficult. This track, again, referencing back to the last two qualifying sessions, it is so confidence inspiring. And we're getting now where the sun is dipping below the horizon, and it's going to be difficult. You're going to start losing your references and into the braking zones and where to pick up the throttle. Again, this part of the track, you've really got to commit with the car and see where the car can. And that's what I'm just saying. You just lose it on the rear end. You just got to be so full on with the car, and that's why Laggy's lap time in Q2 on a set of mediums has to be credited for.
No, definitely not. I don't think there's anyone sat at home or anyone anywhere that could really say Laggy's not a good train. Ooh, Nuke. That is very dangerous. Getting that much curb on corner 11 and 12? How he didn't send his car off is shocking. It just shows. Oh, and Nuke a little bit. Oh, nearly gets into the gravel trap. Thankfully, he stays out of it. You do not want to see that on the first few laps of Q3. But now, here we are. We're going to be following Nuke. Shane is going to be coming around on the pit straight. And we're going to see him cross the line. And he sets a 118.4 for the first lap done in Q3. A decent benchmark. Nuke with a 119 flat. That is lovely. Still great time set. Rambo with a 118.7. And now we are going to be following Perry now, coming around the end. He sets a purple sector 1 and 2. We are Vuti with a 17.7. Although a very, very good lap time from what we know. But we also know there is a lot of room to set. But right now we are following Perry, which is on an absolute blazer of a lap, going around the last two corners. He's got barely any ERS left. But as he goes down around the last corner into the main straight, we're going to see will he set that one lap? Will he be able to get P1? And he does a 117.4 to take that, steal it right off Vuti. And now we're following Laggy going down the pit straight once again on the soft compound. Will he be able to set another lap time quicker than Perry? And he does a 117 flat. What a lap from Laggy. The top three, not inches apart from each other. Laggy, an absolute blaze trail of a lap. That is insane. What do you have to say about that?
What a lap, Ethan. Again, just full commitment from the guys. Laggy already showed his potential with the medium tyres and now goes straight into the 117 flats. He's gonna wanna itch out a 116. There's no way he's not gonna wanna finish this qualifying session showing that he is the man to beat in the race.
Oh, wow. That, you know what, that was lovely in Q3. A little bit of adrenaline just before the race. Mind you this, I need to save my voice for this race. I don't know how I'm going to do that if these guys keep setting these laps. No one's in the pits. Everyone is still going all out. They have everyone, and I mean everyone, has done amazing with their tyre wear. Oh, sorry to interrupt my own self. But watching Perry right now, coming around the last corners, he gets a bit dirty around, it gets a bit of dirt on the tyres. We don't want to see that.
I think he's setting up a lap now for his lap. So basically, he's just set up now. So he's on that 21.1, and he's going to go push for it. But the thing is, he hasn't really conserved ERS enough to really push for that 116 mark. And he is not too far from Laggy. He's within touching distance. Less than half a second. It's not the end of the world. Again, we're looking into 6 minutes to go. And we're going to have to go into the pits and do one last run.
I completely agree. But mind you this, Perry might not have a lot of ERS, but he is a driver that we've seen surprise a lot of the masses. And also, might I add, we've not paid attention. Perry set that 117.4 on a medium compound.
Absolute respect.
That is insane racing. Although it's kind of weird now that he's using a medium compound. Here's Q3, nothing much to save. He should go into that soft compound, really set that time, really try and contest Laggy. Oh, and Perry loses the rear tyres there, but he captures it fantastically. That is amazing racing. And now we're going to be following into P3 with Vuti. And he comes around the last corner, but he did get over the line.
Oh, he's going into pits, but I think, if I'm not mistaken, Perry's on a lap. He's on a lap. Perry's just finishing the lap. He's got 11% ERS. He was a bit close towards the bottom end of the ERS field on the back straight, and he comes into the last corner. It looks clean. He's got the curb, and he's onto the home straight.
Let's go. Let's see as he crosses the line. Will he get out top step?
Not
And
bad,
he does
but
not
he's
barely-
improved. He is improved.
He's
by
doing amazing.
0.79 of a second.
And
on
mind you,
medium.
this is quite big, a big of a difference. A big of a difference. Oh, and Laggy going in. The race leader currently going in. Will that be the end of his race? I wouldn't see why it wouldn't be with a spectacular time like that. Yeah.
I think he's just going to do like I just said. They're going to go into the pits, reset everything. If they've got a set of tyres to go, they're going to make sure they're going to use it now. But if I was everybody, you'd start wanting to think about the option using mediums. Starting that race on mediums means your longevity of a tyre is going to go a bit further, and you could really do the overcuts. But everyone is on the undercut strategy of soft tyres. They won't even have 6 laps on those tyres towards the end, especially after completing 5 laps in this qualifying session towards the end.
And now to mention this, we're now watching Rambo currently in P5, the 118.7, coming around to the last corner onto the pitch straight. Will he be able to get onto that podium position? Not too sure from it, and he doesn't. He just misses out by 500 per second. He gets to the 119s. Not a bad time, but from what we're seeing, it's just not enough to get into that position that he wants. But now, as we're going to switch back to Perry, as he comes around the last corner,
he's
going right into the pits. Never mind.
But talking about Rambo, he's got to be conservative on his tyres. He's got 4 laps already on this session on these softs. That means he's going to be already at a massive disadvantage in the start of the lap. Now, if you're looking at the other guys, some guys don't on their outlaps on a fresh set of tyres. We're going to have to keep eyes of Vutoji and Shane, who have 0 laps on those tyres, which means they're going to have the maximum grip starting on their flying lap.
Also, I would like to mention, Vuti he's on an outlap. He's not even doing his lap. He absolutely flew through turn 6 and 7. It really shows what kind of racer he is to go on an outlap, which is normally where you kind of want to conserve your tyres. But he's just throttling it. He doesn't really care because he knows he can get that top step. And we have a caution on turn 1. I think that's P9. That might have spun. Or something's happened. Never mind. He's in the pits. Something's happened, but it seems it's been cleared up.
I think it's just to do with the RS deployment. But Vutoji is about to start his flying lap. Comes into turn 15. Gets a good exit out of Prost. He's now going to enter turn 16 flat out to the curb. And he is going to start his lap. Again, if he was already committed in his out lap, he is already just creating a dress rehearsal for the best lap he's about to set around Albert Park. A good exit out of turn 1 and 2. He's going to the back straight. Can he keep pushing? We will have to see. He gets down the gearbox, shifts down the gearbox into 3rd gear. Nice and smooth on power delivery. He's not opened up great for turn 4, but now into 5. And again, if he gets 6 and 7, well, he's going to get a good one onto 8, onto a DRS zone on the back straight.
Exactly. Oh, and he catches it after exit of turn 6, now into turn 7. Now he knows he's not going to be setting that lap time that he wants, so it does seem like he's laid off of the throttle, probably conserving that tyre to get in another great lap. That is a shame from what we've seen from Vuti, although it does happen quite a lot where these drivers do get into their own heads and they kind of doubt themselves, which is where they really lose the car. But not to worry, I'm sure and I'm more than positive that we will see an amazing lap from Vuti coming in. And mind you this, he still has set a very good lap, although not to the level which we would expect from him, considering what he set last time.
I think he's conserving ERS.
Yeah,
after that step out, he decided it's not the way to go and push more than he has to. And realistically, in P3, is he really imposing any of a threat? But he actually, getting to the last corner, he's got 84% of ERS. He's going to start the lap with enough ERS to push an absolute lap out. Again, if he doesn't make that mistake out of turn 4 and turn 7, we shall see.
And then we're going to be following to Shane, which is a spectacular lap on Q2. So I know I'm excited to see what Shane can do, because we can see what he can do. A 118.4, now we know he's got a lot more potential. He keeps that clean, a lovely line, and he's going to be having an amazing time. Although 5% of the ERS consumption, he's really not good at saving that. Although it is not an easy thing to do, especially when you're on a Q3 where you really want to put everything on there. We have a minute left in Q3. Not many people are going to be able to even set their fastest lap times. This is really the crunch hour. This is where everyone wants to dial in, get what they want to need. Here we go. Shane around the last corner, onto the pit straight, keeps the car just in the lines as he goes. Will he cross the line into P1, P2, P3? He gets into P4 with an 18.085, which is a fantastic lap from that.
I think Vutoji and Laggy are on a lap, but Laggy's just gone into pit lane, but Vutoji is still pushing on his out. He's still pushing on this lap.
He definitely is.
We'll have to see if he can absolutely break the uppercut and just throw into the top 2. If he gets into the front row, he's got a massive advantage on the inside of Laggy.
And here he goes, now rounding the last corner into the pit straight. Laggy, foot to the floor, gonna go for it. Will he cross the line? Will he go into P1? And he gets into P2 with a 17-2. He completely kicks Perry out of that P2 slot, pushing him down in the P3, and Laggy very comfortably in P1. Although, not as comfortable as you would seem, Vuti is right behind him, and we will be back with you now to follow with the race. But we will just like to say, what a spectacular set of qualifying times, and a big applause to every driver that attended this. This is an amazing race for everyone, and I know I'm excited, you're excited, everyone at home excited. I can't wait. We will see you now. And now cutting in here, we can see the last times for Q3 are 117, 117.2, 117.4, 118, 118.4, 118.7, 118.7, and a 119. And Porqueria did not set a time, which is quite strange. Although that is lovely. 5 seconds to the race start. We will see you now. And now, as you follow us, this is the formation lap. As you will be following us for the next 29 laps of this race, here we are racing in sunny Melbourne, in Albert Park, a absolutely historic track. Great racing, great overtaking zones. We're ready to see. Mind you, this has 3 DRS zones. Out of turn 1, we have 1. Out of turn 9 and 10, we have another. And out of turn 12, we have the 3rd and final DRS zone. I know it's going to be an amazing time for racing. We won't be seeing any rain as it seems. It looks like clear skies, so we know it won't be changing from the dry stint from what we can be expecting. But this is going to be an action-packed race. I know Laggy right now has a raging bull called Vuti right behind him. Perry right behind Vuti and Shane right behind Perry. Everyone is so close. The grid is closer than they were in Saudi Arabia. They were closer than they were in Bahrain. And they're going to be closer once those lights go off. Everyone's starting on the medium compound. But we see Elite is the only one to start on the softs. Mind you this, starting this, yes, it is the quicker compound, although you do have to pit first, which could either benefit or do bad for him, because what we would be expecting is, mind you this, last race we did see roughly 2 safety cars, 2 VSCs, 1 real safety car. So, honestly, Elite might have the idea of going on a very small tyre compound to change into that medium or hard compound under the safety car. But then again, Saudi was a smaller track, Australia is a bigger track, so we don't really know. And as we have here, the race leader now, coming around the last corner onto the pit straight to get into formation into that cute P1 spot, which he so desperately got, which is fantastic. Everyone, fresh mediums, except for Elite, like we have just mentioned, lining up. I'm excited. I know you are, definitely.
Absolutely. I think Elite's going to go for the undercut. He's going to have to do the pit stop quite early as the guys now reach the grid, warming up the tyres, absolutely revving up the cars, and they are about to go down.
Exactly as my colleague just said, as we are here under the blazing sun in Australia, in the beautiful, beautiful Albert Park, racing around this lovely circuit. Once again, a historic track. We are ready for some great racing. And here we are. We can hear the cars going, and as the red lights go, Laggy's getting ready to go, and now here we are. It's lights out and away we go to the start of the Australian Grand Prix. We are seeing a lot of tyre smoke down into the first corner. Laggy ahead as he gets in. Very firm position in first. Has been contact. There has been contact. Some car has gone into the grass. A caution on sector 1 already. 2 cars are turned around.
It seems to be Bone and Rambo.
It does seem to be.
They've gone off the track. The guys luckily able to restart and back on the track, and they're going to have to push again.
Exactly. From what we can see as well, though, Rambo and Bone have gotten away unscathed. Not a single damage on their car from what we know. Although, that is a shame to see at the very start of the race. And now, mind you this, look at Laggy already putting that massive lead onto Vuti, really trying to make an example of he is here to win, he is here to dominate, and he is not letting anyone get near him. But now, this is where Vuti and Perry
he's coming close. He's in the station from the far end. He's just under second, but again, seeing Laggy really fast with his ultra fast left and right, pushing. And as we have our strategies come up, you can see that there's possibilities for them to either take the undercut or the overcut. At the moment, everyone's taking the overcut by the looks of it, because they're using the medium tire. But again, we were keeping eyes before that Elite was running soft tyres, and he's up to P8. The field nice and close. The only time we've got a massive gap really is the last 2 drivers, and from Nuke down to Cape Muscat.
Exactly, and those are really the only big time differences we're going to see. Although this is already going to be a great time. We can already see Vuti is already going for the attack. He isn't going to be having DRS. DRS will open on the 3rd lap of the race, as everyone knows. But from what we've seen, it's already great. Much cleaner racing. I know it seems like it's not, considering the first corner incident. Although, no red flag, no VSC, no safety car, neither. So, first lap, Saudi Arabia, we had a VSC come out already. So this is already great. It really just shows the dynamic of a bigger track compared to Saudi Arabia. Everyone is more comfortable, everyone can be closer, there is more time to battles, and as we see now, Vuti as well, still chasing it. Although Laggy, one thing I will have to mention
DRS is open.
His
DRS has been applied, because Vuti has just closed in half a second coming into turn 11. He's just been smart, holding his line.
And he will also have DRS for the next corner. This is crazy. Laggy and Vuti, they are already so close. Vuti closing in that time. He won't make that lunge as it's way too risky. Although he still has more time to make. Laggy still defending. An amazing defense from Laggy. But we're seeing he is making that car as wide as he can make it. Down into the last 2 corners. Vuti stuck behind him like super glue is on the back of that car, keeping Vuti in line with him. As they both come down. Here we go. He will have DRS. We will have DRS. Will he go around the outside? Will he go down the inside? Vuti still not close enough though. And he doesn't. Laggy still has just that bit more pace.
From Vuti at the moment, he's got very good racing at the moment, because he's just deployed DRS coming into a turn 3, turn 4 complex. A very favourable overtaking opportunity, but he holds back at the moment. He's playing smart. He's using his head here. He's using his race car to his advantage, and he's putting Laggy under immense pressure, because at the moment Vuti has the better race pace and Laggy has nothing to respond. But now he's up and they're going to get the DRS onto the back straight onto turn 11.
And now we could be expecting an overtake here. Mind you this, Vuti has a lot more ERS than Laggy. Oh, and there's been a VSC. There has been a VSC. There's been a collision down in P8. Elite is out of the race. Elite is gone.
Disastrous, but Jamie's got a 10-second penalty.
It does seem
got a 10-second penalty.
They must have made contact. That must have been a racing incident. That is a shame. Urko with a 10-second time penalty. That is so sad for Elite. We saw him go out so early in qualifying, and to go out on the 3rd lap of this race, that is such a shame. Mind you this, he did a fantastic... Urko's front wing is completely gone.
His race might be screwed at this point. But however, let's look at the bigger picture. If he can get in now during VSC, and if the pit lane is open, he will be able to rejoin the pack and not be too far.
And issue
but he's got problems. He just can't turn the car without the downforce.
Although, mind you this, he hasn't got his front wing. Although he's got a 10-second time penalty. Will he be serving that now in the pits? When he gets out, he will be at the very back of the grid.
I think, unfortunately for him, that 10-second time penalty is added to the end of his time at the end of the race. So there's no way for him to remove that penalty. That penalty will stay till the end. So he's going to have to pull a miracle now to try and get as high up as possible and pull a gap from the driver behind to remain in his current position.
And it seems that it is a full safety car. It's no longer VSC, as everyone lines behind the safety car. That is insane. I spoke a bit too early when I said there wasn't a safety car at the very start, evidently.
I think it's commentator's curse.
The commentator's curse,
and Laggy's just got out of breather. I think he should just think about it, regroup, and think about what is the next phase of attack. Because Vutuji at the moment has immense pace. And not only that, we've just done Perry and Nuke back into the mix. Can the guys find something that they were losing at the first stage of the race, but we're now almost to complete the fourth lap as we head onto the back section of the track? Again, it's already looking to be an absolutely great race between the first two.
Definitely. Now, mind you this, now there is a safety car, everyone is charging up that ERS. People are conserving their tyres, warming them tyres up, making sure that when they get out, they can attack straight away. And you can bet that is exactly what Vuti is going to try and do to Laggy. They were really close, and I'm more than certain if there wasn't a safety car, Vuti might have overtaken Laggy. But obviously, the safety car coming out is a shame, and it really is a shame to see from Elite. I was excited to see Elite try this race and see what he could do, because he was at the back of the grid, and I saw him shoot up into that P9 slot. But then, sadly, that must have been taken away. And once again, we're not too sure what's happened. But from what we can tell, there was contact between him and Urko. Urko losing his front wing, but sadly, Elite losing the race, getting out completely. That is such a sad upset from him, and I'm sure he's upset. Although, mind you this is only week 3. We still have a few more weeks to go. Just because Elite's out in this race does not mean anything. He might very well still be able to win that championship.
For the guys, not the championship, though. We're now on to week 3 of 8. So we're just getting to the quarter end of the season already, and unfortunately we have to start thinking about the championship. Obviously, you cannot win the championship in the first races, but we are getting to the phase now that your points do matter. So being in the top 5 is always important. So as we have some time to look over, we're going to see the top 5 positions in the championship, with Jovan with 38 points, with Nikolai 28, Perry with 25. Alongside him, tied on points is Jumba, and then Laggy in 23. But as we can see, the big hitters here are Laggy and Vutuji being able to absolutely mark their territory and try to claw the championship back in their favour.
And mind you this, like my colleague just said, you might not be able to win off of the first few laps or the first race, may I say. Although it does set a really good stepping stone. If you do manage to win or get into the podium positions for those races, it really does set you above the rest. And now we could be expecting to see the safety car go in, hopefully soon, to get back into some intense racing. 5 laps only done. This is going to be phenomenal racing. People's strategies might have changed. We might have seen some people change their tyres, which honestly I don't see why they would at this part of the race. It's still quite early, unless they're going to go for that really long stint. Although we are going to be seeing some intense racing happening very soon.
Elite, unfortunately, in his incident, as you just mentioned, we didn't see what happened in the incident. But unfortunately, when you're looking at yourself being stuck in the pack, you're just absolutely looking to be swarmed by everybody, because everyone's with the same goal, want to get the best result. And if the opportunity arises, we're going to go racing at the end of this. But again, if the opportunity arises, just like a famous saying from Ayrton Senna, when there's a gap, you've got to go for the gap. And if you don't go for the gap no longer, you're no longer a racing driver. So again, we mimic back to the grid. Everyone's now backing the pack up. Laggy's being smart, but he dictates when he crosses the safety car line onto the home straight when he wants to pull the trigger. Will he be smart, or is he going to? And he's pulling the trigger.
There he goes. He's already full-counting out the last corner.
Absolutely left behind.
He's pulled the rug over his head. That is insane. He completely pulled Vuti out of there. He did not know what was about to happen. And now Laggy is prime. He's already out of DRS range of Vuti. That is exactly what he wants. He's going to hammer down that ERS. He's going to make sure that gap is more than that second so he can just get clear of Vuti. But Vuti is still lagging on. He's still holding right behind him. Although DRS will not be open this lap. It is still under... Have we?
Whoa, but Laggy has a massive moment out of turn 4. The rear end steps out and almost ended it in the wall, but we have again another safety car.
No, that would seem it's just a visual error. Thankfully, that is just an issue with the software we're having, but that is not to worry. We've not got a safety car, thank God. A 3-second time penalty for Shane for multiple, and Jumba as well. 2 3-second time penalties. Now we're going to be switching into Shane now in P7 as he loses it to Borrell.
We've got a massive battle here for the top.
It's too wide going into turn 11, and as he gets behind it, Borrell just ahead of Bone. Then Borghetti up in P6, Nuke in P5, Kamer Scat in P3. What's happened to Vuti? Picking a P4, what's happened to him?
We don't know what's happened to Vuti. He might have had a problem. We just saw him struggling for traction out the slow corners.
What has just happened?
Has he now let his head go down? We've got a sector 3
a big
yellow flag and a virtual safety car.
Another safety car. What is happening this race? This is spectacular. Now Vuti, he was comfortably in P2. What has happened to make him go down to P4?
I think the guys have just gone out with their heads completely heated. They've seen the red mist. They've wanted to go for the guys ahead, and they've absolutely bottled it where they can't have it at the moment. We're still not even into 10 laps of the race, and the guys in the first quarter of the race are dicing for position. But again, Laggy has played the upper card. He has absolutely thrown everything at the kitchen sink, and he's put Vuti in under immense pressure. But again, Vuti in chasing him down has made a massive mistake, and Laggy again remains in P1.
Exactly, and now this really puts it back even closer than it already was. Mind you this, we have only had 1 lap of racing out of that safety car until there was another one. Not sure what happened. Thankfully, we haven't seen another car leave the session. We haven't seen another car retire. It's such a shame that we still have lost the lead. Might I add that again? It is such a shame. Although now, Kamer Scat up in P3. What happened there with Vuti? He must have gone off the track. Something must have happened.
Like I said, we saw the guys in the top 3 were pushing really hard, trying to pull their distance, and the tyres just were not up to optimum tyre temperature. And again, we must remember, they've now done 7 laps. Even though they haven't pushed 7 laps flat out on these tyres, as we've had a virtual safety car and a safety car initiated, and this is our 2nd time of that, the guys are just running the temperatures through the roof, getting very hot to very cold within a lap, and this unfortunately puts the car in an absolute mess to understand where the traction is. And again, as we talk about qualifying, it's a track where you really need to be confident in your ability to drive the car through the tight corners and get the drive out the exit, and then be able to dive into those fast corners without losing traction midway. Again, these curbs here in Albert Park are really aggressive. It upsets the cars when they're stepped on it, but unfortunately the guys are just having to deal with it like everybody else. And again, we're seeing an amazing amount of talent racing today, and again, we're going to have to see the top 2. And I've just seen Kane Muscat as well, obviously has jumped up the order from the incident, so can they now jump ahead in the field?
I was about to say, will that make him capitalize on this situation? Because we know Kane Muscat is also a very prominent driver. He's quite strong in what he does. So right now, everyone is so close. People that you would not expect in the top 5. This is amazing. I can't wait for the safety car to go back in. I really need this to happen.
I feel down for Ali. Obviously, we haven't seen the incident. If it's been his fault or just, unfortunately, I mentioned being in the pack, but it's never nice to see a fellow competitor fall out and be out. Jamie has a 10-second penalty to serve with a collision with Rambo, so we'll have to look at that later on. But again, the guys just need to be a bit careful with what they're doing, because they've got to be ready to attack the next 19 laps of the race when we hit to lap 10. Again, hopefully at the end of this lap, we will see the safety car pull into the pits and go back to racing.
I don't see why we wouldn't at all. I'm trying to wonder now what caused that virtual safety car. Well, it is a full safety car, it's not even a virtual one, but something must have happened, because that is a terrible outset. We do not want to see this many safety cars. We want to see full racing action. But although I will say, it does add a bit of a spanner into the mix, especially for these top leads. Laggy by now must have thought to himself he wanted a very comfortable lead in front of Vuti, which now in retrospect he does have, although he now has everyone else. And now we are seeing from race control, the safety car will be going in, and now we will also see Laggy once again dictating that speed, dictating when they go. And will he pull the blanket under everyone?
I think Laggy's going to have to do that exactly again.
Definitely, he will.
But he can't just make that first lap be so aggressive. Like, he pulled it, but again, we saw moments of that lap before we had another safety car of the car twitching and being very nervous under braking and on exit of corners under acceleration. So again, he's just going to pull it. He's just now coming out of turn 14, about to initiate onto the white safety car line.
And I know I'm excited for this. Here we are again. He's doing the exact same thing he did last time. Will he be doing the same thing, punching it out of the last corner? Will we see this? Perry is rather close. K Muscat is right behind Perry, and Vouty right behind him.
He's holding back this time. He's
not
going
going in. And there he goes. He's put down to the floor like a rock on the pedal. He is throttling it fully, and now we are back to racing.
Perry's close.
Perry is close, but K Muscat is also close, and so is Vouty behind K Muscat. Now this is where it gets crazy. This is where we're going to see some real battles, and now we're going to be switching into Vouty in P4. We're going to see he really wants to get back into that top spot. He will be chasing down K Muscat. I know, I'm excited. Wait, as we go into Bone Jib, it seems like he's off of the track in P14.
That's a shame.
What happened?
Bone again.
Oh, that is
he's not having the greatest Wednesday evening, is he? Unfortunately,
really
at Albert Park. But again, it is what it is. The drivers will learn, and they will go on to the next race in Japan, where Suzuka is challenging. But again, as we watch our front runners in the top 4 on board with Vouty, trying to chase down the group, he knows he's got the pace, but he's got to play the smart game. Now, does he go for the undercut or the overcut?
Now, that's the thing. I don't know what he will be doing. Because now, honestly, since it's been 2 safety cars, his tyres aren't as worn down as they would have been by the 10th lap or the 9th lap in this situation. Although, will he still...
Whoa, we've got
K Muscat going up to the gravel trap. And here he goes, Vouty down the inside, down into the corner 13. Clean overtake, back into that P3 position. He goes without a struggle. That is such a shame from K Muscat. Going into that gravel trap, dirting up those tyres.
Well, we've got an absolute battle in the leads with Laggy and Perry. Perry's going to get to maximise the championship.
Perry will be going for it. Will he have DRS open? I'm not too sure.
He's not got enough DRS to help him down the line as well.
Laggy still putting up. DRS is enabled now, so now we're going to see some intense racing. Once again, Bone, it seems like Shane might have just gone off now in P13.
Bone's DNF. Bone is DNF, and we've got a virtual safety
Another
car.
one. As we can see, if we click into P13 now, we will be seeing... there we are. He is fine now, but that is a shame from Bone. What we can assume is his tyres were still dirty, still had that flat spot, and went into the wall. Now, 3 safety cars.
We're seeing a common theme, Ethan. Unfortunately here, as Shane almost runs up the rear end of Goga. And again, we just need to look at everything at the moment, how it is that we've seen now 3 safety cars, and the last 2, the guys are pushing way too hard with the tyre conditions. Maybe they've got to change their strategy on how they present the cars within the line. Should they follow behind another car and get the heat off the exhaust and get all that dirty air to warm the tyres up? We don't know, but again, Laggy and Perry were absolutely dicing out before we finished that, and it's a shame because we were now being robbed slightly of the show that we could have had with Laggy and Perry before the first pit stops. But one thing, the guys could be looking at a one-stop strategy now.
I think it was already projected on the race strategy, though. It was going to be a one-stop most likely from the top.
Could we see the odd soft, though?
We might, to be fair, especially for that fastest lap. Because right now, as it stands, I'm pretty sure Laggy is still the one that's holding that fastest lap. We're not too sure with what it could be. Although, like you said, we are being a bit robbed of the showmanship of what we wanted to see. We really just want to see
guys are coming to the pit already. The guys are pitting now.
Okay.
They've decided lap 10 will be the lap to go.
And now, this really does change things, doesn't it? Now, Theo is currently in P1, Nuke in P2, Borrell in P3, and Jumba in P4. Now, obviously, these laps, they won't stay in these positions for now, as they still have to pit unless they pitted under the last safety car, which is very possible from what we know.
Are they going to push to the very end, to the last 5 laps, pull a lead with the medium tyres, and it all depends on what the guys are going to jump onto. And when we see Laggy,
there we go. Look,
they're going too hard, so they're looking at the long game.
Yeah, this looks like the long game. Although, could we expect a soft change from one of the drivers? We don't know. But look, as we see at the top 3, they haven't gone into the pits.
Well,
yet.
I've just seen that Jumba had hards already, and I cannot recall at this moment in time if he's already pitted with an incident, has he?
He must have.
So there we go. He's looking at. He's thought about it. He's going to go for it till the very end, and he's going to want to maximise now his track position because he doesn't have to pit. He will be going to P1 once these guys go.
Exactly. Although once again, we still have quite a lot of racing to do. Will the hards hold up? I know they are the longest stint, and they most likely will. Although we can also see a situation where the hards might degrade hard. Remind you this, depends on how you take these corners, how are you going, if you avoid the gravel. If you keep a clean racing line, I'm more than certain it will last. Although no one's a perfect racing driver, incidents do happen, you do run off the track, you do hit the curb a bit too hard. But now, will I just say, this is a completely different outcome from the first 2 safety cars. Now we're about to see Porqueria, tío. In P1, he will dictate the speed once again. Now, Laggy, Vuti. Vuti is right behind Laggy once again. That's what we wanted to see. Perry right behind Vuti. Now,
same for Perry.
He
got undercutted in the pits, and Perry at the moment is the guy who really needs to push, because Laggy is only 2 points behind in the championship. And again, as we know in racing, the P1 to P2 makes a massive difference in points. And again, we're now getting to the point of the championship where guys at the front have to start thinking about their championship, because if they can pull an early lead, we've seen it in the real life world and we've seen it via F1 esports, it makes a big difference when you can pull that lead.
It definitely does. And like we're seeing now all the cars are caught up to the safety car. Most likely we'll be seeing the car go in now, but what I am excited for now is really the lead battle. Hopefully, and I'm hoping
Jumba's made 12 positions in the stop.
Jumba has made 12 positions.
And he's not going to have to pit, so he's actually undercutted without anyone knowing.
Field. He's undercut the entire field.
Obviously, it's all down to the situation that he found himself in those first laps. But he's a bit like Elite. When you got raw pace in qualifying, but you just couldn't get in Q3 and find your car in the right parts to start with, you're just fighting and joining for position. So at the end of the day, we're going to have to see how the race plays out. We're almost half race distance. It's anyone's guess who's going to win this.
It really is anyone's right now. I couldn't predict who could. Now, we do have strong contenders. We did see Vuti come from roughly in P10, P9 and go into P1 or P2, P3, P4 in the last race. He has potential to win this. Once again, a lot of people have to pit. So right now, Vuti, Laggy and Perry, they are projected to be in the podium. Although, Jumba has really thrown a spanner in it. With a 3-second time penalty, though, that is not what you want to see. And the safety car is going in this lap from what we see. Now we can see right now, Nuke and Porqueria, they are neck and neck. Nuke is not letting Porqueria out of his sight. He is ready to attack. He is not letting him catch him by surprise. Now, this is where it gets interesting. Hopefully the drivers can keep it clean.
Whoa, that was mistaken.
Yeah, it looks like that was Nuke.
He just overstepped the car. They might have lost the rear end, just warming up the tyres.
Oh, and 10-second time penalty for Shane. That is a shame for having a severe collision with Wilson. That is not what we want to see in P7.
That's a shame, isn't it? And the guys, again, we need to keep it clean now under safety car conditions.
Exactly.
Will we see Porque just push now early? By the looks of it, he's just going to step on it now.
Oh, and Nuke going in.
For the pits.
That's it. Now, here we go.
But he hasn't maximised his maximum potential.
He has not. Porqueria, that is a shame.
Here comes Jumba.
He had undercut the entire team. Jumba right behind Porqueria. Now we have Borrell right behind Jumba. Now Rambo as well. We are seeing everyone close compact together. Now, Shane overtaking Nuke. Obviously, Nuke in the pits. That is such a shame from Nuke. But we can see Jumba is already sizing up Porqueria.
Now with a 3-time that is a shame. Multiple warnings.
That is obviously from limits of the track. And Jumba losing the rear end just there. Porqueria keeps it straight as an arrow. He keeps moving ahead. Now, mind you, Jumba still has that 3-second time penalty. So he really wants to get in that P1 and just completely levitate himself over it. Laggy and Vuti in P6 and P7. We are seeing these two absolutely battling with each other. Look at this. Right now, Laggy right behind Wilson. He's closing in that gap. You can really see right now, he is pulling him in. He's not letting Wilson out of his sight as they go down into...
Whoa! It's a massive
and
off.
Wilson goes right off. Oh, if we switch into Wilson in P8, it seems he's gone into the track. He's kept the car.
What a shame.
Okay, that is perfect though. He might have gone into the wall. Doesn't seem that there's any damage to the car. He's kept it clean. His tyres are dirty. That will not be good for him in this situation. But now if we cut right back to Laggy in P5, we'll see. He is very happy with that. That is one less overtake, one less tyres.
Oh,
and Rambo going into the pit. That is Rambo going in.
Laggy and Buttigieg now have to really push, but Buttigieg's got quite a bit of a gap to
DRS
Laggy.
is enabled now. DRS is enabled. That is such a shame from Wilson.
And the thing is, Laggy's got 3 guys at the front who are battling out from the back part of the grid, obviously leading the race as they have to still do their pit stops. And at the moment, Laggy's gonna have to be very careful because these guys might be decisive and they're racing between themselves. And Laggy, even though he's got more pace, he's gonna have to be smart on how he's gonna pass them. It all comes down to racecraft. It's how much he wants it and not to get under the impression.
And Jumba overtakes Porqueria, tío, looks like he's spun out. If we kick into P6, we'll see now. Something happened to Porqueria. He is... and the front wing goes off of K Muscat. The front wing of K Muscat goes flying into the crowd. Porqueria, that is such a shame from him. If we keep it now, Laggy in P2, he's overtaken Borrell. He is on the
DRS train. Here we go. Laggy's gonna go for the lead.
Now, mind you this, Jumba has not got DRS in the next corner, which is not going to be favorable for him.
Oh, Jumba's wide. He's wide into turn 13.
Laggy is right behind him. Laggy's ready to attack.
Is he pulling a move into turn 15 to Prost?
I don't think he will. That is not a very wise move to make. He sizes it up, doesn't see it's his. And a 3-second time penalty for Rambo as they come down the main straight. Here we go. Laggy goes. He'll have DRS. He's using RS.
He's initiated overtake mode. He's got maximum power.
Jumba is sat like a car standing still. And he goes right past him. Laggy into that corner.
Nice clean
over clean. Oh, that is a lovely overtake from Laggy. Now if we cut in, we can see...
We've got so many drivers.
So many drivers, all compact, all together. Enough room. Just that little bit of error could cause another safety car. Thankfully, we've not got one right now. We are doing Vieng. Now look over here. Borrell right behind Laggy. Borrell's overtaken Jumba. Vuti right behind Jumba. Now we have Laggy trying to run away with it because now he knows his greatest contender, Vuti, is stuck behind 2 drivers. This is where he can make the most pace. Borrell, still a very competent driver. Laggy might need to keep his eyes out for him just as much as he would for Vuti. But Vuti is currently overtaking Jumba. Jumba has got
there's contact on the straight.
Another Wilson.
Too wide into turn 11, and he's got the inside line. They're still going sideways.
Vuti and Jumba,
they're going to close. He cuts the
and Vuti keeps it in. Vuti stays in that P3 position, and you gotta love that from Laggy. It looks like there has been an issue. There has been an issue out of the corner, out of turn 12.
Everyone with ERS deployment, as you see those red lights flashing, means that the engine is on the recovery system. He's trying to recover energy, and the car is not at its maximum potential.
Borrell
as we follow Borrell, he's going in.
And Borrell goes.
But Vuti now has to push. He's got no one in front of him. He's got Laggy ahead of him. Can he drop that 1 second gap? Is 1.2.
Laggy has more ERS than Vuti. He has a lot more room to make that space.
He's on the second almost. He's just on the second cusp.
Yeah, although he is out of DRS range. Vuti is out of DRS range, which is really not good what he wants to see. Although for Laggy, that is a spectacular thing. Kamo scout 3-second time penalty. Why is everyone 3 seconds? He's only got 2.
There's a long contact, man.
There's too much.
In the middle of the track, and guys just tussling for position. And again, Vuti and Laggy getting through the pack unscathed after the virtual safety car. So we'll have to see where the guy is going as we go back to the back.
Perry, the race winner in Saudi Arabia, currently right behind Jumba. Jumba, a very competent driver. He is an amazing sport. You can really see he's got the DRS open. So does Perry. Perry really wants to make this move. He wants to get ahead of it. He wants to get back into that podium spot. He got it last time. He can get it again. And his car does slide a little bit. He doesn't keep it neat through those corners.
For Vuti,
it does seem like it. Perry, though, is going to stay right behind.
Do we have a blue flag situation? Do we have anyone being overlapped at the moment?
Doesn't seem like it.
Laggy's got a 3-time penalty
and that's not what you want to see. That's not what you want to see. Vuti right now. Vuti right now is happy, though. I'll tell you that. He is happy with that.
Whoa, what a slide from Jumbas. Again, he's just getting to the push with those hard tyres. He was the first one on the hard tyres. Here we go.
Perry goes for it. They both got DRS, though. Oh, but
not enough ERS.
Perry's not got any ERS. But he should be careful into these first corners. Perry with a bit of early braking there, obviously predicting if Jumba would make it. Jumba goes into the dirt.
Jumba's got his car all over the place.
He is making that car as wide as possible. As they go down into corner 3, Jumba still stays ahead of Perry. Perry is right behind him though. Urco with the fastest lap of the race with a 120. That is a fantastic lap from Urco.
He pulled the lap when he
Perry's going around. Perry's going to be trying to go outside. Is that a bit of a dangerous move?
It's going to be close.
Perry and Jumba next to each other. But Perry makes that clean move. Perry, the 3-second warning though. He did go off the track. That is so sad to see. As it would seem, only 3 drivers stand with no time penalties. Now, Vuti though.
Here they come alongside again, down the back straight. Can we see where they're going to go?
Too wide into the back straight.
Nice clean racing. They pulled each other out.
Vuti keeps it ahead though. That is what we want to see. is clean racing, side-by-side racing, wheel to wheel.
Unfortunately, Perry's
beautiful.
getting held up by Jumba by a bit of jostling the position between Jumba
Exactly.
and unfortunately what's happening is we're now losing touch. Perry's got to respond. He's got just slightly over 10 laps to go. Can he make the difference? Guys are locking up. The traction is now going. Hard tyres
Perry.
never have maximum grip. So here we go onto the home straight. Sorry.
Here we go. Perry going in,
Easily.
and like it's nothing. With that DRS open, it really turns that car into another type of beast. But don't be saddened if you're a Jumba fan, because Jumba will definitely come back to attack that. As now, we will be switching into Rambo Borrell, as the pack is very tight-knit. We can see here Rambo on the tail end of Urco. Urco with the fastest lap, and Urco behind K Muscat. Now, K Muscat has got 6 seconds worth of penalty points. We surely don't want to see a black flag to K Muscat. Hopefully he can keep it clean and in these lines. That's really what we don't want to see. We don't want to see a driver getting taken off the track. And Shane is DNF. We didn't even notice that part. Shane is out of the session.
That's a massive shame from Shane after the maximum commitment in qualifying.
That is
but again,
really a
this
shame,
is what
isn't
happens
it?
with the guys. They're just fully committed in qualifying, and then if their race is not dictated into turn one the way they want to go, they just find themselves in a lot of trouble. And there's a massive slide. I don't know who for that was why. I think it was Jumba had a massive slide, and we've got a yellow flag in sector 3.
Yeah, it just seems like it was a slide out of turn 11, turn 12, which is quite common from what we're seeing. Right now, we are following Wilson. Mind you this, remember this, Wilson did go into the wall, into the gravel trap, and he was last at the one point. But now he's in P5. He's having a spectacular race, might I add. He is doing fantastic. This is great racing from what we're seeing. Buti and Laggy, they are still on their spots where they were. Buti has got Laggy still in range, although not of DRS, but he's still clawing back to make sure he gets it. But remember, Laggy has that 3-second time penalty. Right now, if it were to finish, Buti would be in P1. And also, might I add, Jumba has gone into the pits.
Yeah, and I was keeping an eye on Urco
and Rambo, right?
Yeah, Rambo. I think they're having a battle. They're just keeping within tabs because Urco set the fastest lap and is chasing down K Muscat, which was not very far off. But here we are with Rambo at the moment following Urco ahead, and we will see where this battle goes. Now, half a second from each other, we're looking for top 5 finishes, and the guys want to get the top 5 in the championship. So this is where you have to start getting race points to then just jump your way up.
And K Muscat with another time penalty, up to 9 seconds of time penalty. That is not what you want to see.
He's under second now, Urco from K Muscat for the top 5.
And Rambo right behind him with under a second. Now, mind you, K Muscat with 9 seconds of penalty. That is not good. If he keeps this up, he will get that black flag.
Here he comes Urco. He's got massive drive
Urco
out
kept it clean, might you
top
say.
12, and here he comes.
He kept it clean. Into corner 13. Here we go. Urco, go! And K Muscat's car does get a little bit of air. Urco goes around. You can see him. He is staying right behind him. He is going to be attacking the last 2 corners. Urco keeping right behind K Muscat. He will have DRS. This will be intense. K Muscat goes into the pits, assuming he has damage on his car. Urco continues it. P5 with the fastest lap. He's doing a fantastic race. This is amazing to see. Oh, and it does seem we have seen Jamie maybe into the wall, or something's happened in P12.
He's not having a great race today, isn't he?
He is not. He must have spun out.
He's already done 3 pit stops. He's trying to maximise his tyres, but it's just not working for Jamie today. But we hope for the next race is going to be strong, as he's struggling to make the corners.
And now we have here the middle sector 3, really compact. Now, mind this, if we do look at the stands right now, we see Laggy is right in front of Buti. Laggy 3 seconds nearly ahead of Buti, and that's what he wants to see with a 3-second time penalty.
Here comes a nice slipstream train.
Yeah, as we're talking about this, Borrell gonna go around the outside of Rambo as it seems. Ooh, getting really close, nearly any contact. As we can see down now into turn 11, he overtakes it. From over goes Rambo. Here we see Borrell sticking it right into the third 12th corner. We can see Borrell sticking right behind Urco. He's got DRS. This is not what you want to see if you are Urco right now. He will also have DRS into the pit straight.
Now, this is a time penalty.
Oh, and Jamie's out of the race as well. Jamie retired the car.
It's a shame, but I said a second ago, Jamie just struggling to get
his
race going.
And there he goes. He goes a bit wide. Borrell easily takes that from
wide
Urco.
onto the home straight.
Oh, and Urco loses two positions. Borrell goes into it down the pitch straight. He takes it like in candy for a baby. Laggy has lost that position. Look at Laggy. He's lost that lead that he wanted to have. He nearly had 3 seconds.
Vuti
coming. Is closing
He's
it
coming.
down.
It's the last 8 laps of the
Vuti
race.
is hungry. Vuti is ready to attack. He really wants that
If
one.
he can get it under a second, we've got another sector 3
Oh, and it would
caution.
seem like maybe K Muscat overtaking it. We hope it's not a
It seems to
safety
be
car.
Porqueria. He's going down
It
the
is
field.
Porqueria. Porqueria might have had an issue from what we see. It does seem that his car has
He's
damage.
lost his front end
He's
plate.
lost his front end plate on his car. He might have gone into the wall. As I did say at one point, turn 16 is quite a slippery corner. You can expect some slipping. You can expect some contact. And ooh, there we go. Urko getting
It's a shame for
dirt
Urko is
tire.
just in P5, but the pressure's
Yeah.
got to him slightly, and we've got to see if he can now bounce back. And he's still got the grip, he's got the pace, but can he keep it clean enough to just set a few laps consistently? But he's coming now onto the back straight behind
And he goes.
Rambo.
Oh,
Here he
but
goes.
Urko just managed to not get that close. Rambo keeping a really good head against him. Although Urko, once again, he will have DRS. But although Rambo will also have DRS, Borrell is the only one that won't have DRS. Will Borrell get a double overtake done on him?
We've got a massive battle
I
here
can't
for
wait
top
for this.
5.
My ERS consumption is quite low on Urko. He's got 30%. But here we have Rambo going around. Will he go
Here
in?
we go.
But he's not. He's not close enough.
He's going to get him into turn 3 though. If he gets good
He
exit
will.
out of turn
He
1
will.
and 2,
And
he's
he
just gone
does it.
wide.
Oh, he does. He gets dirty in those tires. That's
How
what you
close
want
can
to see of
Urko seems to bounce round
and
the
Urko goes around the
outside.
outside, but Rambo stays with it. Urko overtakes Rambo. That is such an upset. But now
What a
Urko's in time.
slide from
That is
Morelli.
lovely.
Can't keep the car on track. He's just barely got through. And we come to the back section now.
And now we have Urko in a position where he really wants to be. As we can see the leaders right now, everyone has had their pit stop. We can really expect now no more pit stops will be done unless the situation does happen. Urko is nearly a second behind Borrell. Borrell causing that one issue. And we've had another issue on the pit straight from what it seems. We have no idea what is happening with these drivers. What's happened? It may be another retirement. We're not sure who it is. It might be P8 Nuke. We're not too sure. It is Nuke from what we see. In P9.
It's a shame, but here we have the battle again, leading
We
up
have a nuke.
back to Rambo and Urko. They're still within a second of each other. They're still absolutely dicing for position. And we'll see. Here we are, live with Rambo at the moment, as he's got the two guys up front in sight. Now he's just got to remember to keep it cool, keep within distance of that second to deploy the DRS and to help him when he puts his ERS into overtake mode, and just keep within sight, because tires are going to drop off, Ethan. We've
Definitely.
got
By
hard
now
tires.
we can't expect that. No, by now we can definitely expect some really bad tire degradation.
Just noticing Rambo's got some damage to the right side of his front.
That might have been contact with Urko. That could have been. They did get very close. We might not have seen on the cameras, but we can
Borrell
expect
is
that.
now chasing down a driver that I just at the moment can't.
Borrell is
see who
chasing
it
down
is.
Wilson. It does seem, unless that is a blue. Yeah, it is
no,
Wilson.
Absolutely,
It
we've
is
got now
Wilson.
a four-way battle for the top positions.
Mind you this, we haven't been tuning into the top 3 as they're having very clean racing ahead of everyone. But the middle sector, it's just beautiful to see the midfielders fighting. This is what Formula 1 is about. We love battles.
Oh,
We
it's
don't wanna
another
race.
penalty for Laggy.
And Laggy's got
He's gonna
6
have-
seconds.
Can we just look at this? Vuti will win the race at the moment because he's got a 6-time
and
penalty.
Harry will get second. Laggy will be shut down in the P3.
Laggy's gonna have to
That
push
is
for
such
it.
a shame. Although, will he have enough time to make 6 seconds worth of pace? I don't know if he has. I don't know if he will be able to with the time we have left. And now, mind this, down the pit straight once again. Urko right behind Borrell. Borrell is in a very bad position. Urko is in striking distance. And now we can see Urko getting that DRS open. K must get another 3-second time penalty in 12
It's just
seconds.
not his day,
It's
is it?
not his day. He is in P10.
Here we go with the battle up in front again. We just on board with Urko. He gets a good side.
Oh,
we have Wilson
and
off
Wilson
wide into
off
turn
wide.
2.
That is not what you want to see for your Wilson. Another upset. Borrell overtakes him. Urko overtakes
Whoa,
Wilson.
round
And
the outside,
Wilson's
he's
got
gone wide.
another switchback. That is insane. Look at that. This just shows, doesn't matter what you're doing, if you don't watch Formula 1 regularly, it really shows you can have a great time watching it. Anyone would get excited over that. But Borrell is running away with it. This is insane. Borrell is having a spectacular race. This is intense in the midfield.
And if you keep an eye on, Vuti is closing the gap to Laggy.
He is.
Will he get the first honour of getting on the tops of the podium on his own accord and not under penalty conditions?
I'm sure Vuti will be happy regardless regardless of what happens, he will be getting that P1.
Absolutely.
If all
but
stays in
the driver always wants the rawness on that top step of the podium.
Exactly. But what an upset from Laggy with such a promising qualifying. But mind you, look at Laggy, look at Vuti. Vuti is closing it down. He's getting so close to that 1 second. Oh, and was there contact?
Wilson's out of the race. Absolute heartbreak for Wilson fans out
and he's into the wall, and he's lost his tyre.
He's in the middle of the track. We might have a safety car, Ethan.
We might do at this stage of the race. It wouldn't be shocking, but it does seem like the car has been rolled into the getaway, and it doesn't seem there will be a safety car. But what a shame from Wilson. Wilson had such a great race.
He was in the mix. He was in the top 5 battle. And now it's all down to Urko. He's 3/10 away. He's going to come
attacking Borrell. This is
Can Urko get a P4? Oh, but Borrell sliding again out of turn 3. There's no traction left. These hard tyres are on the absolute limit of their lifespan.
This is
because
ridiculous.
They just don't generate the grip. Now, can we see Urko maximize? But what a...
Oh, and Vuti overtakes Laggy. Wait, has Laggy gone off the track?
I think we might have a situation with Laggy.
Yeah, Laggy has
gone off the track, but luckily had a massive gap to Borrell.
That is such an upset, although from what it does seem...
We must remind those at home that Laggy has to finish 6 seconds ahead, but someone's jumped out.
Wait, Borrell has overtaken Borrell.
Alright, so now we've got an absolute battle in top 4 and 5.
Mind you this, Perry, the race winner from Saudi Arabia, is now in P2. He is under the DRS time, although he has got...
And here we have a battle. We have Perry under second to Rudy, as you were stating.
Oh, and there's a blue mark. There we are. We see a back marker.
I think it was K-Muscat
does
off
seem
the
like it is K-Muscat.
line.
K-Muscat not really having the best race, sadly for him. But you can't discredit it. He is being a good sport. He is giving that space.
Absolutely. Whoa, what a massive slide from Vuti. Everyone's struggling with that turn 3 traction into turn 4. Can we see Perry pounce? He's now just slightly over half a second. Can he get him? He's now into the 0.5s.
Now, mind you this, Perry does have a 3-second time penalty, although we do know Perry is able to make that distance. But with the little time that we have left, unless it's an issue, and it seems once again, K-Muscat having to give way to the blue flags. But it is such a
under half a second. Can Perry put pressure on the Vuti to make a mistake?
And now we will have a DRS zone. We have a DRS zone. Perry just behind him.
He's out wide.
And he goes down the inside. They are neck and neck into the last few corners. Perry makes that overtake. Vuti, like a duck standing still. Perry overtakes it like it was nothing. The race leader has changed. Although 3 seconds, may I add. 3 seconds of penalties on Perry. That is such a shame. Vuti knows he just needs to hold in and hold on to that. Oh, and Vuti had a slide from what we saw.
Vuti's losing traction, losing time. Like I said, can Perry pull the 3 seconds out with 3 laps to go?
I think he can. Mind you this though, these tyres are quite old. We are going to see some sliding. We are going to see some bad braking. It's something to expect.
Another
and
time penalty.
That's a 3-second time penalty.
What is all to play with Vuti?
Perry, will he get a back-to-back? We don't know. A lockup from Perry.
It's all... Whoa!
And Perry loses it. Vuti overtakes him.
And the both are sliding out of that complex. What a battle.
But now they're neck and neck. That's right behind. Close. They're so close to contact. We don't want to see a contact this late into the race. But Perry right behind Vuti. Vuti making that mistake. Perry with another 3-second time penalty.
It's going to go down to the line.
This is a shame because Perry was so close to getting that win. He lost it. But Vuti with only 3 seconds. But they're right behind each other. Perry right there into corner 11.
Here we go. Here
round the inside. Oh, but he breaks it.
Of it because that was never going to end well, was it?
That was going to end in the collision. Urko with a 3-second time penalty. Borrell
massive shame.
He's the only person without a time penalty.
Urko's not going to finish P4 either. Borrell's got no time penalty. If he keeps it clean, he will take P4. And Rambo, if he remains within the 5 seconds, will jump up to pass Urko in the finishing standing.
Right, Nuke Gianni as well has also gotten a 3-second time penalty. Everyone getting time penalties. Now we're seeing Nuke go around the outside of Jumba, very wide. You can see him now right into the inside. He overtakes him. Nuke overtaking Jumba, and now we're going to go to P2
on the lead.
Down into corner 1, we can see very close tight. We do not want to see another time penalty.
Perry almost got an extension of track limits. This track is infamous for track limit warnings.
This is the corner as well, where the chain.
Let's see how they traction out. Nice and clean for
much safer this time. You can see they are a lot more wary into those corners, and this is where they know they both failed in. But now we just need to see if Vuti gets a bad penalty. He gets a bit swiggly there too. That is crazy. Mind you this. Now with the time penalties all together, Vuti, yeah, he had the 3-second time penalty, but with Perry with 6, it doesn't change how the standings are right now. As we're watching it is how it will finish if it stays like this. But now we can see Perry right now.
Conservation for ERS. Can he make the move? He's thinking about turn 13 after this 11 and 12 complex.
Exactly. Now we can see Perry now with DRS. Will he get into that 13th corner? Will he get enough? I don't think he has enough space to make that move.
He's not using DRS deployment. He is waiting for the final lap, ladies and gentlemen.
But mind you this, 3 seconds. Either way, he has to make on
He's under pressure though, because he might make a mistake on the last lap and will be back pair on pair at the moment. It's a shame Laggy's dropped down 5 seconds. We got a massive
and Perry goes off the track.
If nothing else happens and Buttigieg keeps it on the track, he will win the Australian Grand Prix.
That is such a shame. From what we do know, it does look like Buttigie's going to win. There's no one close enough that could even contest him right now. But mind you, if we switch in now with the Laggy will be chasing that lead. He really wants to get that P2 at least. Perry, what a shame from him.
But Laggy's running at the moment, no ERS. He's conserving unnecessarily. He's dropped 2 seconds. Has he had a moment?
He does seem like he might have. What is happening in this race? It really just shows.
Perry's on hard lap mode. He will be able to get close enough at the last sector of the track if he keeps this going, but he's running out of ERS.
Mind you this, it does seem like Vuti had a moment. So did Perry at the start of that lap. Now, what a race this is. This is an amazing, spectacular race. I am excited, and we will be going around the last few corners now to end this race. Lap 29 out of 29. It's getting weary for the cars. Everyone must be tired of driving at this point. Although you can really feel the aggression in Perry. Even though he won't be able to win this, sadly, because of the time penalties that he does have, he has done a fantastic race. So
he's within half a second. There is still opportunity.
There's still opportunity, although we are going into the last corner of this race. Now we have Vuti, now we have Perry, now we have Laggy. Onto the home straight.
As we can see, Vuti, it's going to be close to the line.
And Vuti gets the win in Melbourne, Australia. What a lovely turn now. Vuti in P1, Perry in P2, and Laggy finally crossing it into P3.
Urko's still coming around the last sector of the track. And he's coming to the last corner.
Mind it. Although Urko, where he stands, will not be able to stay in P4. It does look like Borrell, if he stays where he is without an issue, and he does, Borrell takes that P4 spot. A fantastic race. Rambo coming around the final corner. Will he stay in 6th? And he will. Rambo stays in 6th. Jumba stays in 7th. And Nuke and K Muscat stay in the positions that they are currently in. What a race. What an evening of racing. Vuti, might I say, what a fantastic race from him. An amazing turnout. Perry, another amazing race. Laggy, although he did have a good race, it is a shame to see him drop into P3 from such a promising start he had. And that is it, people. That is the end of week 3. And Urko, very well deserved. Very well deserved from Urko. Might I say, he had a fantastic race.
Shall we catch our breath even for a second? And let's watch the podium antics.
This is lovely. Let's just catch these drivers in their element.
Lovely smile from the...
you have to be happy for the team here, man.
Absolutely. And not only that, these guys are absolutely pushing the limits now. They're training hard. They're getting on sessions as much as possible to get the maximum experience of every track of the week. And again, let's talk about next week whilst we're at it. We're in Japan.
We will be in Suzuka, a very amazing circuit. Now, not as many overtaking opportunities as Australia, but might I say, here are the final standings. P1 to Vuti, P2 to Perry, P3 to Laggy. Those are the top 3. Mind you this, Vuti currently already in the lead for the season standings.
Borrell at the moment. He started in 13th and Urko in 14th, and they finish 10 positions higher.
Fantastic racing from those two. Honestly, everyone today, even those that did DNF, it is such a shame to see Elite go out so early. Although, that's an amazing day of racing. Thank you all for coming. We will see you in the next one. And goodbye to everyone. We'll catch you in the next stream. See ya.